Welcome back to Revamped Outdoors. My name's Elliot. New episode here for you. Gonna do a product review. I've been sitting on these things for about a month now. These are tip-up lights. They're called Just the tip-up lights. I actually know a guy who makes these out of southern Wisconsin, and I told him, well, I'd check them out, maybe make a video on them or something. So here we are. Yeah, they're just a small motion actuated tip-up light. So I don't know if you'll be able to see that. You can see it actuate as it comes down. It's pretty bright. So these come in 4 different colors. There's a green, a blue, a red, and a clear or white light, I guess you would call it. I've been wanting to test these out for about a month, but I don't know if you're keen on the weather patterns here in the upper Midwest. But in northern Wisconsin here, we have over about, I think, 20 inches on the ground right now. We just got another 6 last night. I haven't even been able to go ice fishing for about 2 weeks now. So it's been a little bit rough weather-wise. So for this kind of just a basic review, I've been sitting on it for a month. I thought, by the time I get to this, ice season's going to be over with. So what I did actually is I have huge snow drifts in the backyard. I figured what I would do is set up a tip-up and actuate this a few times. Now, the tip-ups I run are Pro Thermal Fraybill tip-ups. So these, I prefer these because they have insulation on the bottom, so it covers the hole up. Basically, if you're not aware, a tip-up is just a kind of automatic way for fishing. So you drill your hole in the ice, you have a line that comes off here. That line moves the top portion of the tip-up. And when you set your flag, set it like that. When a fish comes, takes the bait, moves it, and your flag gets actuated. That's all a tip-up is. So there's many different types of tip-ups. This is a Pro Thermal. The Fraybill makes this, and they continue to make it. There's a couple other ones. Some of them are yellow. This is an older one. It has a compartment here to store different things in. Like I have small bobbers, which are nice to mark your position on the line. But you can put hooks, quick strike rigs, that sort of thing on there if you wanted to. What I decided to do is put these out in the snow drifts in the backyard. You can take off the flag on the Pro Thermals right here. The spring just goes into a small recessed post in there, so you can rip those off. And all I did was put on the tip-up light, just the tip light, onto the base of this post. You should be able to see it on my hand there when it goes off. So when it lays down, it's off, and then it tips up. So I'll play some footage right now of what it looked like at night. What I really appreciate about these is when it actuates, it almost flashes at you because the flag goes left to right, and it ends up kind of flashing because every time it goes to flat, it turns off and it comes back on. The flashing is nice, especially if you're outside of a shack fishing at night. Then you can actually see the flash brings a little bit more attention to what you're doing. So I do like that. They are mostly a sealed unit. They have a small elastic band around the top portion here. I'll show you that. So that elastic band then can go around a rod or a tip-up or anything like that. So speaking of rods, I also use jaw jackers quite a bit. I'm a huge jaw jacker fan. I'll show you a jaw jacker now. These are jaw jackers. There are also similar other things around that are called automatic fishermen. They do basically the same thing. Check your local laws and restrictions about using automatic fishing machines, I guess you would call it. But this is a jaw jacker. It just unfolds like this. Or like this. You pick your size of your rod here. And then you pick the angle of your rod here. And then what happens is you put your rod into this device, into the jaw jacker, and it holds down by tension. So when a fish takes the line here by my thumb, it actuates the rod to come up. And I'll show you that. like this. You can put it in here, fold this down, and then that portion right there holds the rod in. So then when a fish comes over, your line's coming down here with whatever bait you have down below.
Precocious and full of wonderment.
It throws the rod up and actually hooks the fish, hopefully in the lips or wherever they have the bait in. So what I've done here is I've taped on just the tip up light to the flattest part of the bend of the rod, and I have it on currently, but it's not actually on. And then we'll test it out. So now you can see that it's actually on and pushing light. So I've tested this out too. I'll run a clip of that to show you what that looks like. But I really like this setup quite a bit, and the reason I like it is because it also, when it actuates on the top of the rod in the jaw jacker, shows you the rod and the reel, and you can see if your drag is set correctly and it's spooling out line. You can tell then, if you're looking at it, if there's a fish, because you'll see that light either go off. If it's a large enough fish to move your rod, it'll either go off when it hits level, or you can see it move up and down in space. So I think it works really well in this specific instance too. It doesn't just have to be a tip up. And then the third instance would be a tip down system, which I am designing a tip down system currently, but I haven't had a chance to go out and test that out. So in the future I will be including these on any night fishing kind of trips that I do. So I thought it was kind of cool, and something that you might want to check out. There's a series of different colors as well. Like I mentioned earlier, there's blue, red, and white, as well as green. I prefer the green the best. It seems to be the brightest. I can see it the easiest. I did kind of step away in the backyard about 30 or 40 yards and took a video of looking at it from a distance to see how much it stands out. You can see a little bit of a difference between that and, like, I have some solar, just small little solar panel walkway lights. Those are over on the left side or the right side of the fence in the video. You can see kind of the difference in how much light it's actually going to put out. I like them quite a bit. I'm excited to try and fish with them, and I'll probably use them more even in the summer. Maybe doing like some catfish or some walleye fishing in the summer with dead sticks, because I can use them the same way as the jaw jackers. I think they have their use and they're functional. If you're interested in them, check out Just the Tip. I'll put some links down in the description below. I think they're running an eBay store or something. It's just a couple of guys making these things in southern Wisconsin. So I like to help out smaller companies when I can, what little I can help with a smaller channel. But thought if somebody's interested in getting some tip-up lights, these are a viable option. I've heard they work in very, very cold weather. I haven't been able to test them. I tested them when I was testing them in the backyard. They were at about, I don't know, it was pretty warm out. It was about 20 degrees Fahrenheit, so it wasn't crazy cold. But they do have testimonials where these have worked in extremely cold weather. So it's not sponsored in any way. I'm not getting any money for it or anything. Just gave me one or two to test out, and I thought it was cool enough to make a video on. So hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you're having a good weekend, day, end, afternoon, wherever it is, whenever it is, you're watching this. So have some more project videos coming up soon. Working pretty good on the electric ice auger. It's coming slowly but surely, but there'll be another build video on that soon. So till the next one, keep your amps up and your filament dry.